India's current generation of youth holds more degrees than any before them, yet millions are actively choosing to identify themselves as a household pest. Getting to this point required years of intense preparation. They pack into cramped coaching centers, dedicating their prime years to a grueling, endless cycle of competitive exams. But that preparation often meets a broken system. Exam papers leak online hours before the test. Recruitment drives are abruptly canceled. Candidates spend years trapped in a perpetual waiting room for jobs that never materialize. We aren't talking about a small, unlucky fraction. Millions of young adults find themselves stuck in this demographic bottleneck, with their productive years slipping away while they wait for a single opportunity. The quiet desperation is ending. The exhaustion of constantly applying and failing due to systemic errors has spilled into the streets, morphing into vocal, targeted anger at the political establishment. By 2026, the volume of job seekers had reached a critical mass. This was a generation with the credentials to participate in the economy, but no entry point, leaving millions of people connected by shared frustration and looking for a way to express it. In May 2026, the conversation moved from the streets to the Supreme Court of India. During proceedings, the Chief Justice of India allegedly made a comparison that likened certain youths to cockroaches and parasites. The court later clarified that the remark was specifically aimed at people holding fake degrees who degrade the system. But nuance rarely survives the internet. To a massive demographic already feeling ignored and beaten down, the specific words felt like salt in an open wound. The phrase went viral instantly, bypassing the clarification and hitting the raw nerve of generational unemployment. Normally, a remark like this triggers demands for an apology. Instead, the youth did something completely unexpected. They embraced the insult. They reasoned that, like a cockroach, they are despised, beaten down, yet somehow managed to survive in the darkest corners of the economy. Almost overnight, the slur became the foundational identity of a massive digital movement. When the establishment inadvertently mocks a desperate population, that population will often take the insult and forge it into an unshakable viral weapon. This viral energy was quickly organized by a 30-year-old named Abhijeet Dipke. Using his background in political digital campaigns, he launched a new kind of organization, the Cockroach Janta Party, or CJP. Joining this party required specific qualifications. First, you need a college degree, but you must be completely and hopelessly unemployed. Your resume and joining letters must have permanently lost their way. Second, you must possess an extreme, almost reverent level of laziness. You can have the burning desire to change the country, but absolutely no desire to leave your bed to do it. Third, you have to be chronically online. Whether you are eating, resting, or walking, you must be staring at a screen, surviving entirely on internet culture. Finally, you need the ability to channel your political rage away from traditional street protests and turn it into sharp, professional-grade memes and viral rants. Mainstream political parties demand loyalty, physical rallies, and flag-waving. The CJP demands you do none of that, actively mocking the traditional expectations placed on political supporters. These requirements are a dark, satirical mirror. They take the exact negative stereotypes society throws at struggling job seekers and rebrand them as the highest form of political virtue. While the membership criteria feel like an elaborate joke, the party's official manifesto tells a different story. Beneath the memes is a highly precise critique of Indian democracy. It rejects the standard 33% quota for women in politics and instead demands an absolute 50% reservation for cabinet posts. It targets the practice of lawmakers switching alliances for power, demanding an immediate 20-year election ban on any politician who defects to another party. It aims to disrupt the pipeline between the judiciary and the government, calling for a complete halt on post-retirement Rajya Sabha seats or political perks for retiring judges. And it calls for strict financial investigations into the bank accounts of television anchors, who they believe abandon real issues for ratings. The strategy is highly effective. By wrapping these heavy political demands in the language of internet comedy, the CJP bypasses the exhaustion most voters feel toward traditional policy speeches. By focusing on specific legislative loopholes, the CJP used the cover of digital satire to present a detailed policy challenge to the existing political order. But beneath the cleverness of the campaigns and the viral growth lies a darker psychological reality for the millions fueling this movement. Indian youth are repeatedly told they are the demographic dividend, the future pillars of the nation. Now, out of pure frustration, they are reduced to calling themselves pests just to be heard. The momentum is bleeding into the real world. There is already speculation that CJP members might transition from online satire to contesting actual local elections, such as the Bankapur by-election. As a brief note, this video analyzes public sentiment based on digital trends and employs AI-assisted visuals to represent the vast scale of this online movement. The underlying tragedy remains. When a generation loses all faith in traditional protests and political speeches, dark sarcasm becomes their only remaining language of survival. The question now is whether the CJP remains an internet phenomenon or a permanent shift in how young voters organize outside traditional party lines. Has the system's language toward the youth crossed a line of no return? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Is the Cockroach Janta Party a genuine expression of youth distress, or is it a calculated political strategy designed to harness online anger? Either way, if the establishment continues to ignore the voices they've labeled as pests, they may soon find themselves facing an infestation that cannot be crushed.